Welcome to Introspective Illumination. My name is Leslie, and today I'm doing a pick a card reading for past lives. So you choose from one of these three piles. We've got Black Obsidian, Unakite, and Rose Quartz. I'll give you about a minute to choose, and then we'll get started. Welcome pile one. So this is if you chose the Black Obsidian Crystal. So you got the Two of Scrolls or Two Worlds. So I'm not sure if you can see on this card. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus. So you can see in the outside here, we've got like a garden, and here we have more of what our perception is of like that hardworking sort of life, right? Like cooking and cleaning, and you know, it's kind of darker inside and it's lighter outside. So what this is bringing through is that in previous lifetimes, and what you're supposed to be here in this lifetime to learn, is to integrate both sides of yourself. So you might have a spiritual or creative side of you that you've kind of locked off for this more like more human experience. So where you go to work and you do the things, but you don't feel very fulfilled. Or maybe it's the other side where you're very creative and spiritual, but you don't have a very good grasp on, let's say, like finances or kind of like these worldly things. And what you're being told is in your past lifetimes, this was also a struggle for you. So maybe why it feels like a struggle now. And what you're really here to learn is to kind of work through this in this lifetime so you can move on from this lesson. But you're supposed to be integrating both sides of yourself. So not to just be one thing in this human experience, but to experience all the things. So that's to experience maybe your creative side and your more hardworking, like day-to-day side. So for example, in this position where I do readings, this is very spiritual and creative and connecting to my intuition and my guides. But on the backside, I still have to edit videos, right? I still have to look at YouTube analytics. I have to upload. I have to get, think of thumbnails, etc., right? So it's that balance of the two that you're being asked to almost, I feel like you've been struggling with this for a while. And when I say a while, I mean many lifetimes. And this is really where you're being asked, like, okay, it's time to move through this because you've got other things to learn. So really integrating those two sides of yourself into one lifetime is going to be very important for you in this one. So let's get some more information here. I feel like some of you in past lifetimes were maybe like laborers, but you wanted to, like wood carving is coming through very strong. So maybe you wanted to carve like wood in a creative sort of way, but you weren't able to, and you had to labor away and take care of your family. It's that sort of thing where you can still take care of your family, right? But you can also nurture that creative spiritual side of yourself, and finding the balance between the two is going to be key for you and having a very fulfilling lifetime. So let's get a couple more cards here. So we have the King of Forces. And this is a newer deck to me, so I'll probably pull the book on a couple of these here. And Community. Okay. So there's kind of like a similar vibe. So it's not dark, but you can, again, you see outside there's like that, like the gardeny aesthetic, and then you have the people on the inside, but this one feels a little bit more positive, like you finally coming to that balance, right? Where you're not just toiling away, but the light's in, you have nature on the inside, you have like people you love, and finding that, coming to that balance in this lifetime. So let's look into this a little more. And I'm just pulling out the book for this deck. since it is newer to me. So for the King of Forces, a man standing by a stream is surrounded by different animals of the woods. The power of nature is all around him, in the earth below his feet, the water running by, and the star-filled nebula in the sky above. Yet he is a force himself, exerting calming influences on the wolf and the rabbit, which are natural enemies. This card indicates the presence of a man who has powerful and positive energy. He comes with good intentions, gentleness, and honesty resonate from him. If you don't know this man yet, his energy will be coming into your life. He could bring support for a special project, a work issue, or just your life in general. He may also be a positive love interest. In order to be open to receiving a man of honor, make sure you engage in honoring and being tender toward yourself. There could be a position coming in any of the careers natural to the King of Forces, such as electronics, astronomy, physics, geology, alternative fuel, any of the earth sciences and new industries, and environmental care. Whether you are a male or female, this also reveals an important side of yourself. Feel the balance and beauty of nature and know the powerful force is always moving within and around you. And then let's do that 8 of Roses just to see if there's anything else coming through. If I can find it. There we go. Okay. This card indicates that it's time for you to join or rejoin your group, your tribe. Whatever you call it, this is a community that connects you with others of like-minded purpose and activity. There are many communities in each person's life and still more that return from past lives. For instance, you have your family, friends, and work associates, but you also have the people with whom you share many creative, cultural, or spiritual purposes. New friends can be coming your way at this time. Be open to these new connections. This will help reawaken past life relationships, and it's a time for sharing your discoveries. So it feels like this tribe that's coming in for you is going to be pivotal to bringing these two worlds together. And notice how, like, I pointed out the sunflower and we had the nature, and then we have this card with nature. So this may actually be a male, but it doesn't have to be, right? Every person carries masculine energy in them. So what it feels like is this masculine energy of so what I'm feeling like is not dominating over these creatures or trying to dominate the nebula, but really standing within your own power among the other powers that there are. So for example, like they talked about the river and the woods and the animals and the sky, each one of those things have their own power, but you also have your own power. And what I'm feeling like is that people are going to be really drawn to that. Your community is going to be very drawn to that side of you. And this is like when I was reading, this is very, very important for reawakening those past life connections, this community that wants to come in. And it's pivotal for bringing those fractured pieces of yourself together, where you can see other people kind of living, instead of living in this duality, like where they're one or another, and they bring that together and they stand in their own power and they are completely fulfilled in and of themselves. And they recognize and respect the people around them that are also very within their own power, right? Like the animals in the woods, where we don't have power over them, but we can respect their beauty, their nature. And that's what's going to be important for you in this lifetime, and kind of healing some of these past wounds of picking one or the other, bringing in this community and recognizing the power of each side of yourself, but pulling that into one, if that makes sense. So let's pull some more information on maybe some more specifics on, because I feel like a lot of the past lives you had this kind of like duality, kind of like fractured self. So let's see. We get more specifics on what those lifetimes might have been for you. So we have vows. Ooh. Transportation. Asia. Angels. in love life. Okay. So as soon as I pulled the vows card, what I was thinking of was religious and romantic vows. Excuse me. So I think that's confirmed here with our love life card and also our angel card. So your previous vows in other lifetimes may probably, and it affects us all, can be affecting you in this lifetime. And what you're being called to do is release these vows. So whatever these, like this love you experienced that you made vows with, or whatever the religion that you were part of where you made vows, you're being called to sever those cords because they're affecting you negatively in this lifetime. It does feel like for some of you, and now again, this is general, so it's not everyone, that the vow you made in this love life is actually going to be coming back into your life. So it doesn't mean there'll be a love partner, but for some of you, this vow you made to this person keeps you connected, but it's not a negative thing, and they're going to be reincarnated in this lifetime again with you to learn more lessons like you did in previous lifetimes. So for some of you, it's very beautiful. But if you feel like maybe tethered to maybe ideas or people or situations, but they make you feel negative, or you don't have good experiences, this is calling you to sever those vows and release both yourself and these other people and situations so you don't have to keep reliving the same things. And you can call upon the angels to do this. And even for some of you where this feels religious, you're also still being called to sever those vows so that you can experience what you're meant to experience in this lifetime, which I feel like for some of you is a spiritual calling, but it's hard to do that when you have these ties to other religions. So call upon the angels to help you with, like, kind of move through this healing process, because some of this is going to be more difficult, but you're definitely going to be able to kind of like usher in this new era of yourself by getting rid of some of those old vows and contracts that you have from past lifetimes. So with Asian transportation, I'm very clearly seeing like traveling, for example, on a train to an Asian country and integrating into their culture and living out a very happy life there. So some of you may be very drawn to Asian culture, and this could have been, again, general reading, so it's not for everyone, but this could have been a definite, significant, positive lifetime. And I feel like that's where some of this two worlds energy comes in, is where maybe where you traveled from was not an Asian culture. And then when you got there and you integrated those pieces of yourself with this new culture and kind of made like a new, almost like a new version of yourself, but not in a negative way, it was very fulfilling for you. This is a great example of a past lifetime you've had where you didn't have this duality of the two worlds, where you were able to successfully bring them together. So there's no reason why in this lifetime you wouldn't be able to do the same. But I do feel like for many of you, this feels like a struggle where you have these sides of yourself. So, and for some of you too, maybe you're drawn to Asian culture now, or you are drawn to the location. And this is your confirmation to honor those pieces of yourself. And so if you want to travel there or get more involved with the culture, you're feeling that way for a reason. And I feel like for some of you, you're going to find that community there. You're going to find what you're looking for in that type of environment. And then with the transportation too, for some of you, definitely this is linked to travel. So maybe all of you feel this need to travel to kind of bring these pieces of yourself together and to find that community you're looking for. I also feel like for some of you, maybe there's some long distance relationships going on. So like the vows with the love life. I'm seeing Hawaii. So I don't know if that is significant. Yeah, like I'm just feeling like this like a successful integration in this lifetime by listening to the old pieces of yourself and severing those vows and contracts that no longer serve you and allowing yourself to open up and bloom to find that community. And I feel like you're really going to blossom in this lifetime, and you're going to be able to successfully bring all pieces of yourself into one and feel whole and appreciated for who you are. Even if you're different from other people or you have different experiences, this is really important for you in this lifetime to bring together these parts of yourself. So let me pull some more cards here. Okay, so we have innocence. And we have vibrational. So the first thing that I picked up on with the innocence card was this love you have this vow with, could very much come through as like a child in your life, whether your own or someone else's, but this very innocent sort of love in your life is going to be very transformative. And I'm feeling like as you are integrating all these pieces of yourself, finding your community, finding your power, that this is going to have a ripple effect in your community. So the community of people that you're with, this is going to affect them, but in a positive way. So you're almost going to be like the example, like, okay, we see this person that we care about very successfully pulling together these different pieces of themselves. And you're kind of what I'm seeing is like, kind of like being like the leader, or not in the leader in the sense of like telling people what to do, but kind of you're like the inspiration of your group. And this is going to, that energy, excuse me, that energy of bringing all pieces of yourself together is going to kind of exude out of you, like in this pattern of this vibration, and positively affect those around you. So it's not just, I mean, obviously your lifetime now is for you, but it is also going to positively affect others. And it feels like your community needs that for their own healing. So let's get a couple more cards here. Okay. So we have number 27, be clear on what you want, put action to your goals, make them a reality. So this specifically feels like those of you who are called to travel, to start putting those things into action. Where I was talking about the masculine energy up here, is action is very much a masculine energy type of thing. So you're being called to connect to that side of yourself to start moving this process along, because I feel like some of you probably feel very stagnant in this energy of not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go. I kind of feel like some like heavy depression. And once you start moving, like actually moving towards those things, I feel like all this negative energy is just going to flow through you and let all these other wonderful things come in. And then we have number 19, believe in your power to manifest, breathe your creation into existence. So kind of goes in line with put action to your goals and make them a reality. Is if you are specifically looking to manifest a creation, or what you want to manifest is this community we've been talking about, or this love, whatever it is in your life, or the travel, or getting to go to an Asian country, believe in yourself that you're able to do that, because you are. This is your reminder that you definitely, you're definitely powerful. You just need to start taking the action. And sometimes that's easier said than done, because we're like, where do I start? But this is just start. And it's like, what I'm seeing is like the path will become clear to you as you just start moving. And you're going to get these like intuitive hits as you go to know which direction to go in, if that makes sense. So I hope that was helpful. Please subscribe and let me know what other kind of readings you would like. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome. So this is if you chose pile number 2 or the Unakite. So we have the Muse. That's very beautiful. So I'm going to try to see if I can get this into focus so you can see the artwork. So we have a woman playing an instrument. We have all these beautiful flowers. So let me just tap into this here. I'm feeling like in this lifetime, you are likely being called to a creative pursuit. So that could be a career, it could be a side hustle, it could be, has nothing to do with income whatsoever. But it feels like in this lifetime, this Muse energy is very, very significant for you. And that you also have carried this energy through the lifetimes, and the things you've mused and learned about in other lifetimes are going to be very important in this one and whatever you're here to create and your purpose. So let's get some more information on this, because this is pretty interesting here, because it all feels very positive and loving, and you may just be like a very positive, loving person and have this energy, and our world definitely needs that. And I feel like whatever this musing you have or have had in other lifetimes, we need that now. So let me see. And I'm also seeing like almost like you were kind of shunned in past lifetimes for having this side of yourself, but you didn't care, you know, you just kind of did your thing. And that's actually really beautiful to just disconnect from what other people think and feel, especially in other lifetimes and cultures where it wasn't necessarily safe to do that sort of stuff, right? And that you were able to just kind of stay true to yourself is what I'm hearing. So let's see here. We have the Four of Forces, spring, autumn. So you may be very affected by the seasons, is one thing that I'm feeling. And or, oh, that one just flew over there. And what I'm also feeling is for some of you, the seasons, especially autumn, is part of the muse for you. Although in this card we have like the spring and the flowers, I'm feeling like kind of like that almost shutting down season is very inspiring. So we also have the winged messengers here, and I'm going to pull out the book for this because I don't know this deck as well, but I'm definitely feeling like you have like this angelic influence in your life where the angels are you're very connected to your angels and you're pulling a lot of wisdom through them. This light energy is a lot of that's coming, like they're able to channel that through you because you're so connected to them. So let's see what else we've got here for this. So you maybe feel compelled to be the peacemaker in your life. And let's see. Yeah. So this is essentially saying, you know, you're going to have the challenges like we all do in our day-to-day life, but somehow you're kind of able to connect to this energy and kind of just be above it. And not that you're better, but it doesn't affect you the way it affects other people. And this is very inspirational for people. I think especially in our world, we get bogged down with the day-to-day and the little things that happen to us. And you are definitely an inspiration to kind of not necessarily rise above, because again, that has this energy of being better than, and that's not it. Or that you're not affected at all, but you're able to kind of like almost like sail through those situations, and it's not gonna hold you back like it would other people. And that's part of what you're here to show people, is that they don't have to be bogged down by these things. So I'm looking at this card in here. So this is talking about creativity, creative projects like I was talking about. Yeah, so you're always planting your energy, working towards your goals. This is going to bring you hope and happiness, and you're going to yield great rewards from this. So yeah, so definitely if you have an idea in mind of a creative project, or you're feeling very inspired, this is your go ahead and go do it sort of thing. Like this is your, like, yes, do the thing message. So let's pull some more about, okay. So we have Egypt, scribe or writer. So definitely being a writer or scribe in a past lifetime would be one way to express that creativity. It kind of, I wouldn't say in a more safe way, but in a more acceptable way. And this could have even happened, what I'm feeling like is definitely in the Egyptian time period. You were kind of an outcast in a good way. So maybe more like a thought leader, or like you influence the culture in like subtle ways that may not have been evident even to you or the people around you in that lifetime, but that have shaped the people, that did shape positively the people around you. Okay, so we also have Asia, angels, and knighthood. So this knighthood card feels like a direct contradiction to this energy. I feel like in most of your lifetimes, you had more of that ethereal quality about you. But in this knighthood lifetime, it feels like that was suppressed because of what was demanded of you at the time. I'm definitely feeling like you were a male in this lifetime and you weren't allowed to have that more. When I think ethereal, you know, I think like we think more of that feminine energy. You weren't essentially allowed to have that feminine energy. You needed to, you know, go to battle and be this person. You just weren't. And I'm feeling like a lot of sadness in this lifetime because of that. And then even though you had to be this person that you didn't necessarily connect with, you were still able to bring a lot of joy and happiness to the people around you. Like I'm feeling like your close friends or the people you fought with, that you guys were more successful because you brought in this different kind of energy as much as you could in this lifetime. But I do feel like this is something you're still healing from. And I do feel like for some of you, maybe you have like a chronic pain or something somewhere. And I feel like I'm being told to tell you that is a wound from this lifetime, that you were wounded in battle, and some of you it was fatal. And to work with the angels on healing this so that you can release that pain, because I feel like it's bringing you away from your musy sort of ethereal nature in this lifetime. Work with the angels to heal. There are also people out there who can do that healing for you. Work in your Akashic records and work on that. So definitely the first step I would say is just meditate with, I'm feeling Archangel Michael to help you come in and first just recognize this and then do the healing. I don't know if you've heard of Brian Weiss, but he is a physician that does a lot of work with past lives. He has books, but he also has things you can listen to on YouTube to do past life regression. So I'm being encouraged to tell you to do that so you can work through this, so you can fully realize this other side of yourself in this lifetime. And then for Asia, some of you might be Asian. You might be drawn to certain Asian cultures or feel compelled to travel there. And this actually came up in the first pile too. So you might, if you felt drawn to both, might want to watch that one also. But it feels like in this culture, this side of yourself was much more accepted. And your creative sort of musy side of you was almost embraced. And so I'm feeling like we pulled out the contradictions in the lifetimes here to understand that we have to learn the lessons and heal from things in order to fully appreciate and love what we have. So healing through this trauma of this lifetime will help you actualize and bring in this side of yourself in this one. And this will be accepted in this lifetime, because especially I feel like, you know, at this point that we're at in history, we're much more accepting of people and the different sides of people. And you're going to have that again, because I feel like you definitely had that here. You had that here in small circles of people, but it didn't feel like, so it kind of feels like you didn't have that here. You had that a little bit here, and you definitely had it here. So you've kind of gone through this progression in your lifetimes, and you might even want to write about that, some of that. So I'm feeling like some of you might want to write about your past lives you've experienced, or this progression you've kind of worked through. Like once you meditate and heal, that may be very helpful and transformative for some people. So this may even be a gateway into something you can kind of birth into this world that will help people, is what I'm feeling like. So let's get a few more cards here. We have Innocence. Again, came out in the first one, so if you feel called to that first pile, feel free to watch. Whoa, that one flipped right over. And then we have Worthy. Okay, so I feel like the side of you is that you're feeling compelled to bring through in this lifetime is very innocent. And I actually think that's very beautiful. I think our world can kind of beat that out of people almost. So do not reject your innocence. That's what I'm hearing. So embrace it. It is key to your healing. It is your key to helping others heal and reaching your full potential in this lifetime. And then for Worthy, I think that's definitely linked to this knighthood life where you might have felt unworthy. So what I'm feeling is you had this expectation on you to be someone you weren't. And because you weren't that person, you always felt less worthy than what you were for even love, acceptance from those around you. I'm feeling especially family acceptance. So this is your reminder that you are worthy exactly as you are. I'm definitely, again, I'm feeling a lot of trauma and healing coming that needs to happen, that's coming through from this lifetime about around your worthiness. But you are worthy exactly as you are. Your innocence, your beauty, your musing, the way you look at situations is very unique. And you don't have to be anyone other than yourself to be worthy. So let's pull some more cards here. Okay, so we have number 4, stay the course. You are moving in the right direction. Yeah, I feel like some of you have probably had some doubts about yourself. And again, we go back to this worthiness and like feeling a little out of touch with the world around you. And this is your reminder that you're going in the right direction. You don't have to doubt that. And then we have number 3, the way is clear, awaken the power within you. Yeah, so really bring through this innocence, bring through this creative side of yourself. This could manifest in writing, speaking, whatever it is, whatever that comes through for you personally. You're being asked to awaken that power, because the power that you have is not the same power as like you were expected to have in this knighthood lifetime. It's going to be a different type of power, but it is still powerful. Okay, you don't have to just be masculine and a CEO and make a lot of money to be powerful. You have your power within you, and you're being asked to pull that through and follow that, because it's always going to lead you in the right direction. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Please subscribe and let me know below what other kind of readings you would like to see, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. So this is if you chose the rose quartz. Okay, so we have commitment. I'll try to get this in focus so you can see it a little bit. There you go. So you can see we have like a document that says contract, but we have this light and these rose petals. And so this doesn't feel like a heavy energy, but this could really be any sort of contract or commitment, marriage, some sort of contract in writing. So it feels like in your past life, whatever this commitment was is still impacting you today. So this could be vows you made to a person, or it almost feels like a spiritual contract, like the contract is tied to some other souls that you're meant to incarnate with in this lifetime. So let's get some more information on this. So it really could be anything, but it really is feeling, oh my goodness, feeling like the connection with other souls you're meant to be here with. So we have 2 worlds. What I'm hearing is that this commitment with these other souls, if that applies to you, is going to be unexpected. Like they come almost from like another world, like a different culture or a different, maybe have different ideas than you do, but you're meant to incarnate here together and learn together. Let's see. And I feel like you've done this many lifetimes already. Okay, so we have 6 of Forces, Waterfall, and I'm going to read the book for this one. This is a newer deck for me. Okay, let's see. So this is about your personal power, opening up to the force within. You have the ability to shape any situation in a way that honors you and moves your life forward. Your life force is never ending. It springs from your eternal past and roars into your limitless future, extending into the farthest reaches of the universe. It is time of deep thought and even deeper emotions, as well as an expansion of psychic energy. Use this time to act on these and tap your power into what is ever flowing. So I'm feeling like you may, for some of you, so for some of you where this is not about a soul contract with another group of souls, I feel like some of you maybe feel you've lost your power to this commitment in this lifetime, or yeah, it's very much whatever this commitment and contract was in previous lifetime is definitely affecting you now. And this is reminding you of your personal power to move through that. So some of you, if this feels negative or is impacting you in a way that you don't want, you're being asked to remember your power and sever that contract, that vow, whatever this was. And you can still shape your own life even though this thing happened to you in the past is what I'm hearing. So again, for some of you that this is a soul contract where this person or group of people is going to come into your life and you're going to learn these lessons from each other, and you might already. But for some of you, this previous lifetime is definitely holding you back. And remember your personal power, you shape your reality, and to, again, sever that contract so you can move past that energy. So let's get some more information here. Maybe which lifetimes these were happening in. I'm definitely feeling like a lot of you, this two worlds, like the two different cultures or the two different like groups, this very different groups of people coming together, definitely feels significant for you. In previous lifetimes and this one. So we have monk or nun, ships. So when I see ships, I'm thinking of that previous lifetime where when there was a lot of sailing across the world and bringing these different cultures together and getting to know these different cultures, I do feel like this significantly impacted you. I also feel like for some of you, you were a sailor and you like almost signed your life away to this contract to be a sailor, and you ended up passing away, and you still have some of that trauma around almost like signing your life away to something you felt pressured into doing. So you may experience what I'm feeling like as extreme seasickness or issues with your health surrounding diseases that really would be significant for like traveling on ships during the time, like certain vitamin deficiencies, certain like communicable diseases. So I know that's not for everyone, but for some of you that's very specific. And what you need to do is heal from this kind of like sailor type contract thing that you did in order to help your current health release some of that energy that you're still holding on to. So you have high priest or priestess. So we have monk or nun, high priest or priestess. So this could be almost like a religious contract, or like a spiritual contract in a religion. And I feel like you've done this in multiple lifetimes in different types of religions. And again, for some of you, this is a positive thing, but I feel for a lot of you, this is a negative experience where you're almost like atheist or agnostic, and you're being asked to release those connections with those more like organized religions, that soul contract vow you took with whatever deity you experienced in that lifetime. And then with male, female. So we experience all sexes, male or female, as we incarnate over and over again. But this feels like maybe you may identify as trans. So maybe in this lifetime, so maybe what you were born into, you feel really disconnected from. And this is part of why you do, is because you are still very connected from something from a past lifetime. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is more bringing through that explanation for you, because you might be feeling a little lost, or like there's something wrong with you, and there's not. And that obviously that's not for everyone. So, but if that is you, honor whatever you feel true to. That is part of your journey in this life. And for other people, let me just sit with this for a minute. So this commitment, like we talked about, could be a marriage commitment, but it's a kind of like an acrimonious thing where it ended poorly, and this contract was still in place. So you kind of had to still pretend that the marriage was okay in this lifetime. And that's possibly leading to some relationship issues in this one that you need some healing around. And this is where we're going to call back in the power of the waterfall, your personal power, and severing that contract and doing that healing. I feel like for some of you with this, again, because it's general, I'm going to get a lot of different things here. The health, whatever, I'm specifically feeling monk. So whatever religious role you had, part of it was helping others heal. And you may have brought that into this lifetime where you are a caregiver or someone who wants to heal others. And that's going to help you connect. So it kind of like the gist of what I'm getting at with all these different, things here is that if the forces in your life feel like this is right for me, continue on, right? You don't have to sever contracts or commitments in past lives that still feel right for you and that you're learning. But if they do not, so if you feel held back, or maybe you have like relationship issues because of a prior commitment, you can sever those vows and contracts. That is, you have that power and free will to do that, like the waterfall reminds us. I'm just going to sit here. I feel like there's more messages coming through with the ships. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like for some of you met like a great love on kind of like this transatlantic expedition. Like the love that you have came from afar, and it brought your worlds together in a way that where you two were connected. It was negative for the people around you, whatever that means. So there does feel like there's a lot of healing around relationships that need to take place. And this can definitely be affecting your health. So definitely tap into that with your meditation or with your angels. And again, if it feels like it's where you're, trust your intuition. If it feels like it's something you need to let go of and heal, do that. If it feels like it's still having a positive influence in your life, trust that too. Because again, this is very general, so it's going to be different for anyone and everyone. But so we have gifted. And I'm definitely feeling like this connects to this priestess card where you were very gifted in a lifetime with connecting to the higher realms. And if you feel that way, and that may be part of why this contract and commitment is affecting you so deeply, one positive or negatively, because of that, you can really feel that. I feel like we frequently don't feel those connections so clearly, but it seems like you do. Like you definitely feel this commitment in your life and whatever it looks like. And that's because you're very gifted. And with prayers coming through, again, like we have literally praying hands right in the middle, is connect with your divine team and let them bring in that healing for you wherever you need to heal some of those pieces or whatever reassurance you need. It's going to be very important for you in this lifetime. And also I'm feeling like to tell some of you, don't shy away from prayer. So you might feel, I feel like some of you are most bogged down by this like religious past that you've had, but to not give that up just because of a past lifetime. You can turn that into whatever positive force you want it to have in this lifetime. You don't have to be a monk or a nun specifically, right? To have prayer and to have that connection, that gifted connection that you have. And I'm also getting that for some of you, this gifted connection has to do with that healing you did in previous lifetimes, that you're able to do that now because you learned and had that commitment in a previous lifetime to healing others. And you can bring that through in this one too, if you feel like that's something you need to do. And some of you need that confirmation that you don't just like, you're not just crazy, like what you're feeling is true. So let's get a few more messages here. Okay, so we have number 4, stay the course. You are moving in the right direction. So again, trust whatever it is that's coming up for you in this, whatever feelings you're feeling, you can trust them that they're leading you in the right direction, and to not veer off of that just because maybe outside influences or fear or something like that. Definitely trust your intuition. Then we have number 9. You are the breath. Listen and connect to your intuition. So I literally have said that multiple times now. Connect and listen to your intuition. That's going to be very important for you as you move through some of the energies of the past lifetimes and essentially decide if you want to keep them around or not in this one, because you have that free will, right? We're going to be affected by those past lifetimes, but they don't have to be as impactful as they are if you don't want them to be, right? You can almost kind of start fresh if you choose to, or choose to bring through things and let other things go. But this is just a reminder of your personal power, that as long as you're connecting into yourself and what's true for you, that intuition, that gift that you have, you are going the right direction and you don't need to doubt it. So I hope that was helpful. Please subscribe. Let me know what other kind of readings you would like to see, and I'll see you next time.